Hey everybody, this is Rob Smith at the Body Project Studio, and I'm going to continue. Obviously, we've been talking about the pyramid I developed, the pyramid for optimal physical performance. And if we take a look at the top of the pyramid, we've got positive mindset. We talked about SMART goals. We've talked about successful habits. But the foundation of the pyramid is really a little bit more about exercise. And when it comes to holistic health, you know, there's so many misconceptions. I think there's so many people that don't necessarily really understand what holistic health is. And sometimes you'll see at whether it's a certain facility, are people talking about holistic health, and they think if you're eating organically, you're being holistic, or you know, if you're doing some type of functional exercise, you're holistic. But it's far more complex than that, and the reason is because there's so many multiple variables that go into this whole wellness model. Hippocrates once said, there's only 3 doctors that you'll ever need: Dr. Diet, Dr. Quiet, and Dr. Happiness. And if you counsel with those 3 doctors on a regular basis, then of course you would not need the doctors in the white lab coats. However, we live in a very different world than Hippocrates was in. And we've had to add in doctor movement. The reason is because as a society, we think about back in the days of Hippocrates, it was a very active culture. You know, there was farming and obviously no motorized vehicles, so everyone's walking and they're squatting and they're bending and they're twisting. But we live in a very different world, so we've had to add in doctor movement. Now, another thing too is if you take a look at the human body is designed to be able to self-regulate, to be able to balance. And so if we think about what a very toxic world we live in, our body ultimately should have the healing capacities to really reestablish that balance. However, because we live in such a toxic society, our kidneys and our liver and our colon and our skin, these are actually our detoxification pathways. A lot of times what will happen is they'll become compromised. And so sometimes we need some help. And that's why I've added in Dr. Detox. So let's think of, I guess if you think of your holistic approach or this 5-doctor approach like a stool, and we actually have 4 legs. We think about Dr. Diet, okay? So we think about Dr. Diet, minimally processed whole foods, single ingredient foods, preferably organic foods. And think about it, if it comes in a box, bag, or wrapper, then give pause, because ultimately we wanna make sure, you know, you think in terms of, was this food around 500 years ago? Minimally processed, is it a whole food? Is it organic? Is it a single ingredient food? What's a single ingredient food? Broccoli, cauliflower, lettuce, peppers. You think of your lean sources of protein, good sources of fat, okay? Then we go to Dr. Happiness. Now, Dr. Happiness, there's so many people that unfortunately aren't necessarily living an authentic life. And you gotta think about really what makes you happy on a regular basis. And so whether that's spending time out in nature, spending time with friends or family, being in a job you love, doing work you love, it's important to identify what makes you happy and then make sure you're spending time with Dr. Happiness. And then we think about Dr. Movement. And clearly, if we talk about the complexities of human movement right here, we're talking about the pyramid I designed. And if we want to keep it really simple, Obviously, we have to do things that gravitate away from machines, really move the body the way the body's designed to move, and that's squatting, it's bending, it's pushing, it's pulling, it's lunging. And then you think about either jogging or running or walking with good sound mechanics. So we have to make sure we're moving our body on a regular basis. But remember, there's working out and there's working in. So working out, we're visiting Dr. Movement. Then the working in would be, what can we do to cultivate life force? When we're exercising intensely, we're doing things to expend energy. But then we also have to do things to cultivate that life force, cultivate the energy. So if we look at the other doctor, Dr. Quiet, we think about meditation, prayer, sleep. We did talk a little bit in previous videos about sleep hygiene. So we want to make sure we're in a room temperature of about, anywhere from 63 to 67 is ideal. We want to make sure the room is very dark. We don't want to stimulate the pineal gland, which is going to decrease your production of melatonin and not allow you to sleep restfully. So you don't want to be on your computer, you don't want to be on any electronic devices, minimum of an hour before you go to bed. But here's the interesting thing about it. If we look at the 4 legs, Dr. Diet, Dr. Happiness, Dr. Movement, Dr. Detox, the chief physician is actually Dr. Quiet. So don't discount how important it is to get that quiet time, to make sure you're getting restful sleep, to spend some time in meditation, spend some time in prayer, cultivate that life force, cultivate that energy. Now, when it comes to Dr. Detox, like I said, sometimes we need a little assistance. We're getting ready to do a 7-day detox here. I'll put a link below if that's something that would interest you. Remember, because we're dealing with so much toxicity on a regular basis, sometimes our detoxification pathways just need some assistance. So I want you to think about this. If you want to optimize your health, then what you have to do on a regular basis is spend time in counsel with these 5 doctors: Dr. Diet, Dr. Quiet, Dr. Happiness, Dr. Movement, and Dr. Detox. Spend time in counsel with these doctors, and I can guarantee you one thing: you'll live a more vibrant, a healthier, more energetic, pain-free life, and that's really what we all want. You're gonna get so much more out of this amazing life that we've been blessed to have, and you're also gonna be able to share that at a much higher level with your loved ones. So make sure you spend time in counsel with the docs, and until I see you tomorrow, go out and make a great day. You certainly deserve it, and I will see you on the next video.